unfortunately, or whatever, not necessarily unfortunately for Buffy and Francis' plans, Chip and Catherine are just friends, and they both agree to this. And this is why, like, we don't know much about Chip at this point, but I'm very glad that he's like a chill university guy.
Yeah, true.
Like he is not interested in Catherine. Catherine is not interested in him. They are friends, and they seem to be good friends. Or at least from this little time. But there's nothing romantic going on under the surface, and neither one of them wants that. And eventually, Buffy and Francine have to give up on their scheme, but we get a final reprise of the theme song that they used to be sisters, and now they're not related, but that's okay. They're still best friends. I appreciated them going back to the theme song one more time. Yeah, not as much to say about that second one as I thought. So let's go back to the cherry tree. Lucas, what did you think of this one?
I liked the cherry tree. I don't think it's the most remarkable Arthur episode. It's fairly middle of the road, and I think it drags a tad in the middle. But and with both of these episodes, I like that we're getting more from Muffy, and this is a really good use of Muffy in that we get an actual arc throughout this episode, right? It starts off with me literally shaking my head at what Buffy's doing, being like, oh, I want this really indulgently large bouncy castle in my backyard, and I'm going to make my dad redraw his property lines to get to it, which ends with us destroying a decade-old tree. But, Muffy learns the error of her ways, and I think the really, big highlight of this episode, and I talked about it earlier when we were talking about the episode, is really the ending. I think it's mostly middle of the road up to that point, but I personally, as someone who enjoys my house plants and enjoys, the gift of giving plants to other people, I found the part where she's giving Francine the aloe and saying, hey, this is a special plant for you.
I don't hate really Gadillion.
What about you, Will?
I liked it fine. It's one of those ones where it is, it's a pretty straightforward environmental message, which I suppose I've softened to, because we need to start getting a bit more obvious with environmental messages, because a lot of people, and especially corporations, aren't getting it. So, and it's nice to be reminded every now and then, it's like, there's a reason why we